Mandoza's last live performance at the SABC. He came out to show gratitude to the national broadcaster for its 90% local content. Well, earlier on, we spoke to poet Mzwakhe, Mandoza's manager Kevin Topane, and his son Tokolo Chabalala. Mandoza passed away this afternoon, while his manager Kevin Topane, his son Tokolo Chabalala, people's poet Mzwakhe, and his bodyguard Smorden Zimba joins us in studio on the PM News Desk this afternoon. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to the SABC News Desk.
Yeah. Well, good afternoon. Yeah.
A really sad day for the music industry and fans alike. We saw Mandoza perform just a week ago, and little did we know that would be the last performance of a musician of his stature. Clearly, his death, his health took a turn for the worst in the last few days, Kevin.
Yes, ma'am. But to us, as he was speaking to us, Kev, I'm not sick. It's just that I'm just following the procedure of the doctors, and then at the same time, that's what he said to me. He said, "I don't want to believe what people think I am, and what I think I'm in now. Actually, I'm getting. Okay, let me start over.
It's all right. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, I wanted to say it nicely. Okay, let me put it simple. Yes, he was sick, and he was under doctor's order. Yeah, orders, and
he still went ahead with that performance, and he proved resilient to the end.
Now he said, "I'm going to perform and prove to the people that they said I'm dead. I'm not dead. I'll die on stage. I'll die singing, and I was born to do this, and no sickness, no death will stop Mandoza until my last day."
That was his nature. That was his resilience.
As he died in my arms this morning, and their mom.
I see.
Yes.
Tokolo, condolences to your friends and family on this sad day. Do you want to share with us some of your fondest memories of your father?
Well, what I could say is that I think I'm just happy that my dad died a proud man, because he had everything he wanted in life. Because every time he would tell me, he never got a chance to spend time with his dad. So all he ever wanted was just to raise his children and
It's all right.
And he would always tell me, ever since in primary, I'd always tell him, Daddy, I would like to go to a boarding school. And first thing he would say is, no. I never got a chance to spend time with my dad. So I'm willing to take that chance with you and the other two. So when I'm gone one day, that's what he said to me. I need you to be strong. And I'm doing what he said now.
Tokolo, we wish you strength and fortitude during this difficult time. Mzwakhe, Mandoza influenced a generation of South Africans. Just give us a sense of the significance of his contribution in a post-apartheid South Africa.
Yeah, you have songs in different genres and different messages, different races. But he came up with the song Kalagata. Regardless of segregation and discrimination and what, the song was loved by all and sundry, all races.
Yes.
There is one thing to say, it's a song that is loved by a particular group, but in Kalagata, I can assure you, openly, people can attest to this.
Yes.
It's a song that made such a huge impact.
Yes.
In the music fraternity.
And you've actually preempted my next question as to why did that hit resonate so profoundly with all South Africans?
It was well done. I think it was well excellence. Excellence can never be in a crisis. That song was bound to be loved because it was well done, well mastered, well composed, well produced.
Smorden, let's bring you in here. You were tasked with protection and you were the bodyguard of Mandoza for some time. Any amusing or messy incidents you want to make us aware of?
Wow. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm severely touched by my brother's departure. I don't think it was his time, and it was hard for me even to come here when his manager asked me. I've been with this man for a long time. He's like my brother to me. There's only one thing that I actually would love the entire nation to know and remember about Mandoza. There's lots of things that have been said with him. I've been with him for a long time, and I know a lot about him. One thing that I like to say to the public that the people don't know, Mandoza was a Christian. We always prayed when we go to perform. So there's lots of things. Of lately, it's shocking because it looks like he knew that his time was close. This man has done a lot of things for Mandoza, the manager, and I'd like to thank him now while we're here. He tried and persuaded him to go and perform, and they agreed, and I didn't even think that he was going to perform because he wasn't well. But there's nothing much I can say except that all I know about him is in God, and we've never had any big issues with me and him while I was working with him.
Mzwakhe, clearly Mandoza was a man of great faith. Do you want to just enlighten us on his background, career highlights, influences and inspiration over the years?
Look, I'm glad that it has been said already that he was spiritual. So it means, who are we without God? So it means he put God first. And for the fact that before any performance, because every perfect good gift comes from the Father of light with whom there is no variation, that is God, the giver of talent. I just have to say that the nation has lost. His music will live forever. The best thing that South Africans should do, among others, to make sure they don't pirate his music. They buy original. And I'm glad that for the first time in South Africa, when the death of an artist, his music was already playing. But in the past, before 90%, people would only hear too much of an artist's music only when he or she has fallen. So I'm glad it happened in an atmosphere where he himself was happy to hear himself in almost every radio station in the country. So we are happy about that. But what is good, it was a farewell. Not everybody will have this opportunity like Miriam Makeba to die on stage. He performed for the South Africans. He proved them correctly so that he was alive and prepared to perform. His send off, his farewell was last week Saturday. Communications, Ms. Faith Mutambi, that she sends her condolences to the nation and the family. The group CEO, Hlaudi Mutshweneng, has also sent his condolences to the family. Fortunately, he was with Mandoza yesterday, Mr. Hlaudi himself.
Kevin, of course, the South African fan base and Mandoza left an indelible mark on all of us, and they would want to know about funeral arrangements, a memorial service and so on. Any details around that for us at this point or at a later stage?
Mine was to say when I come here, officially, because people have said it, Mandoza died before he died. I was here just to officiate and give him respect. That officially, people should know Mandoza is no more. And about the arrangements, it's too early to talk about it. And the family hasn't gathered together. It hasn't gathered together to talk about this because at the moment, the soldier has fallen and everybody's still mourning.
Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts and memories of the late, great Mandoza. He will be fondly remembered. Well, for the latest, let's cross to our reporter Lopang Alamu. She's at Mandoza's home in Pimville. Good afternoon. A difficult time for family and friends, understandably. How is the news of Mandoza's death being digested in the community right now?
Well, a very good afternoon to you too in studio. I'm not too sure about it being a good afternoon here in Soweto in Pimville, where it's very gloomy, you know, the weather not being very nice to the family of Mandoza, the late Kwaito star, 38 years of age, who succumbed to a brain tumor that the wife confirmed to us of last week. Well, we saw just a couple of minutes ago cars getting into the house, where we saw mourners coming into the house rather to pay their final respect to the late musician. Well, it's a very very, very sad day. But to share some of their fondest memories with us here is I've got as my guest Doc Shaveleza to tell us more about his relationship with him and the late Kwaito Star. Doc, thank you so much for your time. What are the fondest memories with you and Mandoza?
Well, before that, it's a very painful day. Well, there's nothing that we could do. If God takes a decision, He takes a decision and no one will stop that. But the latest good memories that I could share is that we were together at Orlando Stadium. Thank you, SABC concert. He was there. I was part of the whole crew. But the most message that I could also relate with when Mandoza come out and tell the masses, the supporters and everyone that he is suffering from a brain cancer. And he was emphasizing to tell everyone, including myself, that we need to take care of ourselves and we need to make sure that we go check ourselves, whether it's HIV, AIDS or cancer or in whatever way. But I think he championed that particular day to come out from hospital, to come and tell us and say, guys, I'm sick, I've got a cancer, and he was encouraging everybody to go out there and make sure that he checked himself. And today he's gone. And I work with Mandoza, as home to Arthur and everybody. It's kind of painful, and I will ask everybody to be in prayer with the family. I know now it's too early. The family they're still waiting for the uncles and everybody, so that Ubuntu as us, the family comes together, they sit, they discuss, and even us, we give them the space, but we're there to support them. Mandoza was a legend, effective, loved by international people, white, black, Indians. I was one of the guy that loved Mandoza. And I was fortunate last week at the concert. I was there with Mzwakes and everybody, but it's okay. God knows, and God taking a decision, and to support us of Mandoza.
I mean, as an artist, what are the life lessons that you've taken from Mandoza's life?
I think Mandoza was a go-getter. When he started with Chiscop, when he was growing up, people, they used to crucify him and say, yeah, these Kwaito boys, they're not educated, they're not going to make it. But he was a hustler. He was a foot soldier. He believes in himself. He believes in his family. He believes in whatever thing that he wanted to go. He was a go-getter. And he made it. And he was one of the top, one of most powerful South African ambassador. You go everywhere, you go to London, you go to Zimbabwe, you go everywhere, they will talk Nkalagata, they will talk Mandoza, and we appreciate that. I think South Africans, Africa, we need to say, yes, we did have a good star, but we need to take the legacy, keep it, and support and move forward.
You saw Mandoza last, rather, when he was still ailing, when he was still fighting for his life. What was he saying to you? You mentioned the fact that he said, no, you know what, you need to take good care of yourself. But what was he really saying to? What message was he spreading?
The message was loud and clear. He said, guys, here I am. I'm Nkalagad. If you remember very well, he said he never called himself Nkalagad. It's God who took a decision and called him Nkalagad. That's why he was sick, he was not well, but he managed because he loved people, he loved his supporters, he loved the stage, he believed in himself. And he said, let me go to the stadium and talk to the people. We never thought maybe he would say, guys, here I am, I'm not well, but this is the situation. We need to applaud him for that. And I know people, we talk. When you're born, they talk. When you die, they talk. You become successful, they talk. Especially in our industry as quite a musician. Negative things, they will come. But as black child, as an African child, let's respect that. I do have my downfalls. You do have your downfall. Everybody does his downfall. But what we say, he contributed. Let's take a spear and move forward.
As a fellow artist, what is your message to the South Africans? What is it that you'd like them to do for Mandoza and his family?
I think the South African continent, even international, they contributed, they assisted him, they supported him, they loved him, they still loved him. let's keep on loving him. Let's love the music. Let's inject the music. Let's make sure that the legacy of our Keita, the spirit, just lives on. And South Africans, we hope everyone will be there. You know, when we send our brother to the last place of rest, let's support him. Let's not talk negative. He made it. He was a strong man. And the most powerful, the closure, he was at FNB Stadium, sick. You know, but he said, let me go and tell the masses, because it was live, and say, guys, cancer is there. He's a champion, you know, and we respect that.
Now, thinking of the late Mandoza, if he was here today and you're probably paying your last respect to a fellow musician, what would he be saying?
I think my personal opinion, he will say to whoever, I will just say, you know, as where we're coming from, if there's death, everyone will say, let the brother rest in peace. That's it.
Thank you so much, Doc Shebeleza. That was Doc Shebeleza giving us, you know, an insight as to his fondest memories with the late Kwaito star. But as we keep our eyes and ears on the ground here in Pimville, Soweto, it's back to in studio.
Well, that was Lopang Alamu coming to us from outside the late great Mandoza's home in Pimville, Soweto, where Mandoza passed away sadly this afternoon after a long battle with brain cancer. Friends and fellow artists outside his home sharing their thoughts and fond memories of the well-loved Kwaito star. Let's listen to another one of Mandoza's greatest hits.